Won again there, both the opening games by 3-goal margins, and that has really set them on the way. There are 4 changes after the 4-2 win at Young Boys last time out. A first start in this competition for Gabriel Ramay. He replaces Samuele Getzi, who's on the bench. Andrea Bonanomi is in for Filippo Mancariglia. Lorenzo Bonsignori Goggi comes in on the left, and Henry Kermara starts up front with Candace Fiogbe, who's got... And the visitors also with 4 changes to the side which started for them away to Liverpool. Javier Navarro replaces Alvaro Gonzalez in goal today for a UEFA Youth League debut. Roberto Martin has now served a ban and comes back in. Mario Rivas and Oscar Mesa came on as substitutes on match day 5. So Real Madrid looking to continue the recent pickup in their form here away to Atalanta. Yeah, without Valde at the back today, who has been very assured so far. Diego Guado, who has the ball here at his feet. Let's see if he can replicate the passing range of Valde. He was a key weapon really for Real Madrid against Liverpool. Kamara, the focal point of the attack up front. Not every Atalanta side, of course, plays with a centre forward every game. We've seen that from the top down with Gasperini. But they do know what they're doing. And it fell very invitingly for them here. Different shape, different personnel defensively today. Same look up front for Real Madrid. And that's nicely played by Pereira. Aguada. Narrow win over Stuttgart to start it off this season in this competition for Real Madrid. Then back-to-back defeats away to Lille and at home to Borussia Dortmund. But certainly the meeting with Milan seemed to bring out the best in them. Very fast start in that game, 2-1 win. And remember, against Liverpool, they scored after 3 minutes and led 1-0 for the remainder. So Atalanta need to be on their toes in these early exchanges. Pereira again switches it to the right. Here is Yanez, playmaker and goal taker, and he wants to have another go here, and he does, and it's nicely gathered in by Zanki. That would have beaten by, what, 30 seconds, the goal he got away to Liverpool, and not from a dissimilar position. Just got a little taste of the first team picture at the weekend, came on, brought on by Carlo Ancelotti in the 89th minute. A little reward perhaps for what they're seeing day to day. Must be a great encouragement to other youth team members, of course. This is an under-19 selection, as I'm sure you are aware, in the UEFA Youth League, but a lot of these players, other than this competition, are playing either a year or two up or in slightly different circumstances. In the case of Atalanta, several of these young players have had exposure at Serie C level, which is where the Atalanta second team play. Can only be to their benefit. But of course it's a club which produces an apparently never-ending stream of talented footballers. Many go out on loan. They work that system particularly effectively. Large sprinkling around Serie B at the moment. And then up front is Jaime Borroso. Kamada couldn't keep it. Pereira, some decent passes from him early on, but also got a small piece of it. Martin on his return, trying to get involved in the middle of the field. is Javier Navarro to make the most of his opportunity today. Forward by Mario Rivas. Caravaggio here, our venue in Lombardy, about 25 miles or so east of Milan. The big town in the area, of course, is Bergamo, but it's not that big a place compared to the capital clubs that they tend to meet at top level. Most of Bergamo is only about 120,000. Everybody seems to be very interested indeed in the fate of the football club. Martin, hopefully for Real Madrid, Roberto Martin will be on his best behaviour today. Sent off in the 2-1 win over Milan. Much needed victory at that time. Vasquez in down the left today, given license to get forward. They've changed the personnel, but not the overall defensive pattern. Real Madrid. Sestero is going to play as the right of the centre-backs today, 3 of them. Rivas in the middle, and Aguado to the left. Roberto Vasquez here as a wing-back. Pereira holding it together in the middle of the park. Yanes settling pretty nicely here, Real Madrid. Sonny Daly did well. The yellow card against the young boys. Here's Alvaro Arbeloa. A sentimental reunion for him. Last time out away to Liverpool. Got the victory. Played with distinction for both Real Madrid and Liverpool, of course. Pereira. Taken by Sestero. Sestero played in midfield away to Liverpool, and I think it's shown at times early on here. Very comfortable. Now, Kamara's gone over. The defender was Rivas. There was no Sestero, of course, and I think he was feeling slightly lonely. Rivas, the centre-back, made a decision. That is to stop his man, even before the halfway line, and it worked out well. And it's no foul. Pereira. That looked pretty close, I must say, from Navarro, the goalkeeper, but he kept his nerve. With Kamara hunting him down. Keep an eye out near side for the running of Mesa. Still in space. Real Madrid have made a pretty impressive start here, I will say. Giovanni Bossi takes charge of the Atalanta under-19s. Sense perhaps that in the competition overall, Real Madrid were very slow to start. And now they're seeking to make up for lost time. That's looking for Messi. And he very nearly got to that. Let's go Messi. Looks like Vidal is going to have a fairly busy day against Messi. Lovely ball. Played by Aguado right into the path of Messi as it came into it. And it's Messi to take the corner. Ooh. No problem. Eduardo Zanchi. Sankey in goal, incidentally, for Atalanta, really got his opportunity because Pietro Pardel was sent off against Stuttgart. Perhaps not a coincidence, that's the game that Atalanta lost. Ended up losing it significantly by 4-1. Real Madrid making most of the running here early on. And again, moved confidently. Vasquez back inside to Martin. Tempo looks a little bit higher in the midfield, I would say, with Martin in the side today. Nearly everything went through Yanez, but it looks like a slightly different approach. Confident hit by Mesa. Straight at Zanki. Moving well and moving the ball well, moreover, Real Madrid early on. Onanomi. Not getting a hold of it very well at all at the moment, Atalanta. Stuttering start from them, tentative on the edge of the box as the ball dropped. Vasquez. Aguado to Rivas. Oscar Mesa again. Clever little win of possession again by Sestero. Just poked it clear of his man. Mesa. Atalanta are not getting much possession in these early exchanges. Mesa again. Vasquez. All of the game in the early minutes being played out in front of the home goalkeeper here, Zanki. We'll have to do that again. Deli got to it, but it's out of play. Aguado. Mario Rivas. Quite a tentative header this time by Deli. Martin out to the right. Yanez gave it short to Sestero. Has it back, Daniel Yanez. Aguado. Just seems a different energy about Real Madrid with a couple of victories behind them. Confident, purposeful, a little bit more pace in their work as well. Bilac did well to get the head on the cross when it came in. But Yanez early on is looking in the mood again. Max Bilac came in from Maribor at the start of this season. He'd actually been on the first team bench for the Europa League qualifiers back in July, I remember. Helped on its way to nobody in particular from Atalanta's point of view by Kamara. Mesa. Across it goes from Aguado. Rivas. As confident as you like by Diego Aguado. Rivas. Short and tidy to Pereira. Pinged it out. The captain centre midfield player. Cannot get close to them at the moment, Atalanta. Aguado overcooked it slightly. Lorenzo Bonsignori Goggi. Brought in today for Nicolo Artesani. Kamara trying to use his power. Did enough to persuade the referee there against Navasquez. Tavanti creeping into opposition territory for the first time. Ramay, nice and tidy from Ramay. Big day for him, of course. Come in and for Getzi. You're not best pleased by the outcome there. Joe's got an eye for a goal from midfield, that is for sure. But he's spending a lot of this first period in this game as a defending midfield player. And just perhaps a little bit of frustration creeping in for him. Wasn't happy not to get the decision a moment ago. Reminded of his duties by our referee, Sarkai. Good joke. Aguado. Rivas. Yanes. Tosca Mesa. Vasquez. Pereira. It's a nice shift, nice little burst of acceleration. Not the most threatening of crosses on the end of that, for all that good work by Fortea. Got away from Bonsignori Goggi. Yanis. Navasquez. Couldn't clear the box with the parry. Didn't really seem to be a punch, more of a parry by the goalkeeper. And still Atalanta are chasing the ball, chasing their men, giving free kicks away. Determined enough, made the decision, came for it, the goalkeeper, but it went straight to a white shirt. Sestero. Yanes. To Mesa. A rare lapse. Maybe took his eye off it, Navasquez, just for a moment. It's been easy going so far for Real Madrid, that is for sure. And that's not going to help much either. That little moment sums up a nervy start. Foul throw. Atalanta. Really need to reset. Navasquez did it well. Martin. An unfortunate collision. Yanis decides to have a pop. Deflection on it, gathered in by the goalkeeper, but the player down is Lorenzo Riccio, and he may need a little bit of attention. Martin in a hurry to get to the ball, no more than that. Another bright beginning by a very bright talent, Daniel Yanis. Cold day in the north of Italy. They hurt just a little bit more sometimes. Sankey electing to go long. They played it forward, and it was nicely carried further forward as well by Baldo, who's hardly had a touch so far. He and Kamara weren't really on the same wavelength there. Maybe that'll bring Baldo to life. Atalanta get the free kick. Baldo did win it. 20 minutes of near total domination by Real Madrid, but Atalanta have survived at least. Now they seek to prosper a bit more, but they need to start playing. Very, very tentative tonight so far. Not a save to make so far for Javier Navarro. Tall-looking group for under-19s, Atalanta. Almost head and shoulders, man for man. But they go the direct route instead. And Riccio's effort at a comfortable height for the goalkeeper, palmed away to safety. Very comfortable first save of the day. Ononomi persists and wins a throw for Atalanta. Dele gets it back. And he crosses. Goalkeeper's underneath it. It very nearly crept in. Bobbled along the ground from Bononomi. It's rather like the one in the opposition box with Zanchi, the Atalanta goalkeeper. When the ball is cleared by the goalkeeper straight to an opponent on the edge of the box who's got a bit of space, problems can result, and very nearly did. Yanis to Pereira. So Real Madrid seek to restore order after bossing the game. Here they come. Mesa. Martin. Rivas. Yanez. Hard man to take the ball off. Hard man to contain all round. Nicely won back there by Tavanti. Last tiny touch off Rivas. He's a bit unlucky, but it is an Atalanta ball. Bononomi starting to get involved, Bononomi and Baldo, and that does make a difference, I think, for Atalanta. Back it goes out to Bononomi, and in it comes again. Good by Rivas. For the moment, anyway. Let's see what happens with Atalanta here. Edge of the box. And pretty tame, really, from Bononomi. Flying leap by Missa there. Teasing Baldo. Baldo encouraged to try to make his mark in the air. We could hear the cries from the bench. Also to just give a bit more support to Kamara up front. Missa. Pereira. Atalanta youngsters learning about how the press should be affected, and certainly one of the trademarks of how the club at senior level love to play. But Gasparini, the greatly esteemed senior coach, wants it through all his age group teams as well. Bit of work to do, I would say, in that respect with this particular group. Remember that they don't play as a team, this under-19 group, all the time together. They're mixed. Some play in the under-20s, some in the Serie C team. No harm done for Baldo. Baldo has been scoring goals for the under-20s this season. Aguado to Rivas. Yanez. Hard man to pin down, but he's made a present of that. Well read by Javis on Idele, and Idele's encouraged to go forward. He's given it to Stefanoni. Atalanta get the players up the field quickly enough. That was good. Laid off by Riccio. They're still in there, Atalanta, the blue and black shirts, and they have the ball back. Starting to impose themselves better. Stefanoni. So scooped in there by Tavante. Smart little bit of play there by Bilac, the centre-back, to deny Barroso for Real Madrid. Some better signs for Atalanta. Ticking round to half an hour played, 30 minutes. And possibilities here. Shade fortunate. Real Madrid there, perhaps. Now it does reach Barroso, but he's all alone. Not necessarily the quickest, and he does put the brakes on, Barroso. Support was good, if not the effort which came in from Roberto Martin. That was quite fortunate for Nevasquez. Miscued with the header. Very good, alert response to tidy it up. But Atalanta started to come on strong. Those two players, Baldo and Bonsignori Goggi, very, very quiet early on. Different story now. Riccio's starting to drive on from midfield. And I think Kamara up front doesn't quite feel so lonely suddenly. Mesa gets it back from Nevasquez. Rivas to Aguado. Clever little bit of play from Martin, but I think he felt it. Step over. Then he's told to move no further down the touchline. Oh, there's the player down. Difficult for Adeli. Mesa. Pereira. Aguado. Rivas. Pereira facing up the play. Gets it out to Oscar Mesa. Some promising moments down the left, but no real incision from the combo of Nevasquez and Mesa. They've had a little bit more success on the right side, Real Madrid, so far. Pereira. Game goes on. Short by Pereira, whose passing was immaculate for the first 10 or 15 minutes. Just a sense that they've not quite been able to maintain the momentum here, Real Madrid. Decent crowd watching this in the Stadio Comunale in Caravaggio. That's the lure of Real Madrid is one of the reasons. However, Pereira is now yellow carded. 2 instances of shirt pulling today so far. I think the referee's had enough of all that. Really put it together very impressively in the first quarter of this game today, Real Madrid, but nothing to show for it. Breaking the recent habit of scoring early on. 12 minutes Yanez against Milan. There were 2 up in that game actually in 20 minutes. And in only 3 minutes, Yanez last time out away to Liverpool. By Fortea. Aguado. Mario Rivas. Doesn't really leave his station as a centre-back. He allows Sestero license to go forward outside him. Goalkeeper made sure Aguado knew he was on the way. Pereira. Mesa. Yanez. Miss it. No problems for Aguado. Switched by Pereira. This is Sestero. Nothing to worry about behind him. Why not go and fill a slot further forward? And of course he does play in midfield. Here he is again. It's really shown itself as a part of his game today. Little impatient perhaps at the end of that. Fortea. A bit too keen to make his mark on it. I don't think his teammates were too impressed by that. Baldo trying to make something happen. Kamara couldn't get to the loose ball. He's on watch a little bit, Javison Dele, for these restarts with the throw-ins. Had a couple of warnings now about taking a bit too much ground and maybe a bit too much time over them. Forward by Sestero. Free kick against Tavanti. No way through. Misplaced by Martin. Tavanti in the way. Pereira. Stefanoni just got a stud to that. Federico Stefanoni. It's been a hard first half for him. Right side of midfield for Atalanta. Just cannot quite get there in that little passage right there. That's really been the story of the half, but I think we should remember that he is only 16 years of age, and in fact at the start of this season was 15. His birthday is in September, so a lot of hard learning being done, but clearly he is a talent. Clearly he's in the side because they think that he's going to develop, and I think he's going to learn a lot in this game today. Ramai, Gabriel Ramai. Cross, and Barroso just lost out to the goalkeeper. Zanchi was pretty sharp there. Real Madrid work it left. Martin. Made something happen. It's a penalty to Real Madrid. Roberto Martin has earned it. It looked like the opportunity had come and gone, but he decided to go again, threaded his way through a couple, believed in his ability with the ball at his feet, and now Real Madrid are going to get the chance from a penalty to go in front. Unable to break Atalanta down in open play, but Martin really full of confidence there. Outstanding, really. Quick feet, a little bit of power, made life difficult for Bilac and for Travanti, and the consequence is the penalty. So Eduardo Zanchi in the side today for Atalanta. Hasn't always been first choice this season at this age group level. Diego Aguado takes it and scores, and Zanchi wasn't far away from that. The power got the job done. Real Madrid are one up. The breakthrough from the penalty spot, but a lot of the kudos goes to Roberto Martin on his return to the side today. Confident strike by Aguado on that trusty left foot, but here's the moment which has really changed the course of the game. Zanchi, pretty unfortunate, guessed right, nearly got to it, but not quite. Here come Real Madrid again, sensing there might be more for them before half-time. Vasquez is stopped in his tracks by Adele. Navarro picks up Pereira. No Atalanta midfield player has got close to Pereira today. Very good at finding the little pockets of space, and very good normally at distributing the ball. Wanted an offside there, Atalanta, they got it. Shame really for Real Madrid, because it was a smart piece of play. 2 or 3 good runs off the ball, and they left the space wide left. Kamara got a small piece of it. Stefanoni, he did well. Promising counter-attack for Real Madrid now. Well played to Vanti. Stoppage time in the first half then. 1 additional minute. Mesa, of whom more might be expected, I think, second half. Maybe time for one last attack from Real Madrid. Important that Atalanta remain totally focused. And it is half-time, a half which started with some swashbuckling, enterprising football from Real Madrid, but no breakthrough. Hard going for Atalanta to get a foothold in the contest. They seemed to be drawing level in terms of play, but then an enterprising bit of work by Roberto Martin back in the Real Madrid side at this level today. He earned the penalty and it was dispatched by Diego Aguado, and it's Atalanta 0, Real Madrid 1 at half-time. Atalanta have not truthfully offered a great deal in the forward areas. They've made a change at half-time. They're on Andrea Michieletto. Unsurprisingly, he is a forward. That is not how to start the second half. That's what alluded Pereira. Pereira, who's himself on a yellow card, caught by Nico Baldo. Baldo is one of those who have struggled just a little bit today to really impose themselves in this game. A bit too fresh at the start of the second half from the look of that. So it's 1 yellow apiece now. Christian Pereira, the recipient of that challenge, also on a yellow card. And here come Real Madrid. Decent stop, but turned in, and it's going to be ruled out for offside from the look of it. Liberto Navasquez completed the task of lifting the ball into the net. On we go. So confirmation, Michieletto on for Henry Kamara. Kamara was brought in today by Giovanni Bossi, the Atalanta coach, in place of Candace Fiogbe, who's been scoring goals. But Fiogbe's not involved today. Kamara, I can't remember having a single chance. Michieletto is another of the 16-year-olds in this group. And same fate befalls Lorenzo Bonsignore Goggi, brought in today and now also replaced. The second half entrusted to Simonetto, Federico Simonetto. Udele. got to try to find a way to start this second half better than they did the first half, Atalanta. Gomez has threatened to do something spectacular today. Daniel Yanez not quite so much to the fore as the playmaker. That should be a goalkeeper's ball all the way. Yanez and Roberto Martin, a kind of double pivot today creatively in the centre of the field. Makes Real Madrid an even more formidable combination, I would say. Here's Rivas, who's been very tidy so far today. They're without Valde at the back. And they've coped pretty well without him so far. Here's Martin. Tried to thread it up there for Barroso. Nothing doing for him. Atalanta trying to get into their shape to defend it. That makes the job a little bit easier. Little bit of impatience perhaps there from Navasquez. One footnote about the arrival of Federico Simonetto in the game. Although he is a defender, he has been scoring goals for the under-20s. Micheletto showing willing up front. But it's fairly easy for Real Madrid to play their way out here. Miscued. Javisoni Daly.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Arbeloa, the guiding light for these young players in the black winter coat, far side. Navarro in his own good time, the goalkeeper's had very little to do, quite honestly, the Real Madrid keeper. Just offside.
Ma perché non l'hai lanciato? Puoi, anch'io l'ho fatto.
That's a giveaway. Atalanta have to regroup. Not been a particularly happy debut at this level for Ramai. Now he's got to go out there and try to close the door if he can. Yanez for Real Madrid. He tried to spear the ball through to Barroso. Rivas. Navarro to Yanez. Fortea. Vasquez. Some decent movement from Real Madrid. Fortea. Not the best of crosses when it came in, but Real Madrid have this happy knack at the moment of winning it back, dominating possession, threatening to really get into their rhythm again here. Yanez. Pereira. Weaved a pretty pattern there through a couple. Yanez has some space. Back by Aguado. And they're doing a lot of chasing here, Atalanta, early in this second half, for not much reward at the moment. A little bit like the first half, and there again, Bononomi just a little bit short. I feel like I've said that about several of the midfield players. There's another example of it. Stefanoni's brushed off it. Just a bit more purpose about Real Madrid's work in this game. Borussa's going to go for it against the goalkeeper. Falls invitingly for Fortea. He didn't try anything spectacular that time after a couple in the first half. Yanez. And the momentum drops. But how well can Atalanta keep the ball? Only just is the answer. Sestero. Nobody's dealt with him today. Nor with Pereira, the captain. Doesn't reach Barroso, but it might reach Yanez. It does. Almost, almost. There's a good block in the end, and it needed to be by Ramay. So a couple of personnel changes, but a very similar look to this Atalanta setup today, a very similar feel to the game overall. Here's Simonetto. Guides across in there. The decision is corner. With Riccio going looking for it. Contact with Aguado. Riccio. I did mention that he's got a few goals, but that was pretty optimistic from Federico Simonetto. Dropping ball allowed the defender to get right up in his face. Real Madrid go long to Barroso. Well, that was the idea at least. It's well played by Bilac. Launched by Zankier. That little look is quite telling there, I think, from Micheletto. As if to say, I wasn't ready to go and chase the ball from the goalkeeper. Now they've conceded the free kick, and it's all working out rather nicely for Real Madrid again. Rivas. got the header. Micheletto gets a touch, and he used it well. And here's Riccio. Sestero did his job well. Riccio, perhaps one of the midfield players for Atalanta who has got up there and supported well. More is needed. Time for Real Madrid to make a change. This is approaching the hour mark. Jaime Barroso's been a little bit quiet up front today, the number 9. And he's coming off to be replaced by Jacobo Ortega. Atalanta ball. This is Ortega's first involvement in the UEFA Youth League. It's very interesting to watch the way teams evolve during the course of a season, with young players developing at different speeds, of course. The home crowd don't really like that challenge very much, do they? Nico Baldo's back on his feet. Taken off his feet by Mario Rivas. Quite emphatically so. So a third of the game in front of us here. It's a game which has produced hardly any moments of hope for the home fans in the goal-scoring sense, and I'm afraid there is another example of it.
Prova. Prova.
Restart required. A little bit too quickly out of the starting blocks there. Here goes Ortega. Well played, Zanchi. Again, home fans getting their hopes up just a little bit. Certainly played some good football again today, Real Madrid, and also looking quite a robust side at times. The way opened up invitingly, but there have been a few like that today from range for Real Madrid. Martin this time. Zanchi unconcerned once more. Very interesting to watch the physical development of players year on year. We might come back in a year's time and see several of these Atalanta players a lot more physically powerful. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, but at this precise moment in their development, it does look like Real Madrid have the advantage in that area. Nothing doing for Simonetto. Rivas. Navarro, that's not his best of the day, or evening now actually. 4 p.m. local time kickoff. Fortea. All the theatrics won't persuade anybody. Clever little touch then by Simonetto. Not such a good one by Micheletto, but it has reached Yabusonidele, and Atalanta come, making a bit of headway at last. Real Madrid have defended very well today so far, and continues to do so. Aldo had the shot. Now Fortea, who's had a couple of shots that maybe he shouldn't have had for Real Madrid. Pereira. Christian Pereira again. Fortea tries to thread one in, wasn't bad. Yanez trying to emulate Martin there and wriggle free in the box. This is Martin. And again, nice bit of work. Ortega couldn't lift it over the goalkeeper. Another good passage of play from Real Madrid, though. Sestero. Yanez won it back. Sharper most of the time to the loose stuff today, Real Madrid. That's nice. It's Martin again. Appeal for a handball. The goal is given, and Real Madrid now lead by 2-0. And Martin was in the thick of it again. The ball ran free, and it's the moment that Jacobo Ortega has spent most of this season dreaming about. He has scored for Real Madrid in the UEFA Youth League. But a lot of the kudos again goes to Roberto Martin. Persistent, believing in his ability. There may well have been a penalty arising from that, but the game rightly allowed to continue. And it just fell perfectly for Ortega to dispatch it. Ortega running free again. Looking for the target again, full of confidence now. Seen off by Zanchi. So just at the moment, Real Madrid look well set to go on and win. Earlier today, Bayern Munich winners over Shakhtar. PSV winners over Brest. And Dinamo Zagreb over Celtic. Atalanta set to lose a little ground just at the moment in the rankings overall. Rivas got to it. Riccio Not able to get Atalanta moving the ball the way that Real Madrid have done so, with Martino again, who finds a good pass. Ortega goes for it again. Best of the lot. Brilliant. Quick fire double from Jacobo Ortega. As Real Madrid cut loose here. A timely substitution indeed. Lovely little flighted cross by Liberto Navasquez. And Ortega, for a young centre-forward, showing a terrific instinct there. Get in between the two centre-backs. And make sure with the header. The changes perhaps today have not been so effective from Atalanta's point of view. Arrigoni for Bonanome. And Mafasole. Also now brought on for Ramai. Ramai, one of those brought in today by Giovanni Bossi, the Atalanta coach. But it's the kind of day when a coach can, and indeed a club, and all those watching on can learn a lot about the young players, and it may not all be positive, I'm afraid. In a competitive environment like professional football, with so many youngsters clamouring to climb the ladder, off days can have their consequences. Sestero. Vasquez went again there. Almost number 4. I think it felt a miss on the edge of the box. It did indeed. The way this game has opened up, ideal for both of those players down the Real Madrid left, Liberto Navasquez and Oscar Mesa. Very untidy from Atalanta's point of view. Mesa to take it. Fortea. Yanis. Navasquez. Aguado. Keeping it so comfortably, Real Madrid, wave after wave of attack at the moment. Lifted forward by Simonetto, but just hopefully not with any real design. Ortega. Martin, a very effective return today for him. Sestero. All the way through for Yanis. On the rebound, Rivas was ready. The game apparently comfortably in the back pocket already for Real Madrid. Jose Reyes Lopez is going to come on for Liberto Navasquez. A good showing from him. Reyes Lopez is a 17-year-old and he is an attack-minded player, I understand. Keen to make his mark today, right from the get-go. And it's a first little taste of the UEFA Youth League for him today. Oh, it's a fabulous stop by Zanki. Martin in there again. They've let a couple of results slip through their grasp this season, Real Madrid, but it doesn't look like happening today. Well played, Zanki here. Stefanoni earned a throw. Learned plenty today, the 16-year-old, I think. Too much of that from Atalanta's point of view. Real Madrid look keen to make them pay again, and they do so. Tucked in beautifully by Jesus Fortea for a 4-0 lead for Real Madrid. So he's found his shooting boots at last in this game after a couple of wayward efforts earlier. I think he sees the funny side of it now. Told you guys all along. Told you I knew how to do it. Terrific inside pass, the step over by Martin, who's been involved in nearly everything today. And this time on the left foot. Perfect strike. With plenty of power. And Real Madrid powering on.
Vale, fuertes, fuertes. Vale, vamos, vamos, vamos. Esa.
Here's Pereira. Sestero. Not quite for Yanis. The great thing today for Real Madrid is that they've not relied nearly so much on Daniel Yanis. Overall, very solid team performance today. Pereira. Still hungry for more, Real Madrid. Arbeloa would want it no other way. Well played, Rivas. Hardly put a foot wrong tonight so far. The foot goes from underneath Fortea, but the referee wasn't even interested in that. Javis Onidela. Knew he couldn't go forward. Micheletto, who promised to offer something different up front when he first came on for Atalanta. Simonetti. On we go. Nefesoli. So now Beto Martinez is going to be introduced by Arbeloa. He wears 29. And Pablo Montero, 27. Daniel Yanez spared any further duty. He's been a very busy young man in the last couple of weeks. And a job well done. Again. .37 Melvin Okpegbe. Ortega. A handful of fresh players keen to make their mark at this level coming off the bench. Don't think the hard work is all over just yet for Atalanta. No sign that Roma just intend to cruise over the line today. Look, Pegby. Martinez. With Pegby again. Montero. Aguado. Rivas. Atalanta win it back. Vigiale down the right, and now infield. Nice idea. Oh, didn't miss by much, and it looks like the flag has stayed down there. So all the credit must go here to Javison Idele. Very enterprising piece of work. And Baldo not far away. Good movement. Not a threatening corner. Real Madrid seek to go the other way at speed. Stefanoni did well. This is Stefanoni. Tavante. Simonetto. Quite an unusual experience this season for these Atalanta players to be on the end of a scoreline like this, bar the Stuttgart game, of course. They've been the ones doing the goal scoring. Never looking like a side who could do that today. Pereira. Not beyond the bounds of possibility, of course, that Daniel Yanez may very soon be leaving to join up with the senior Real Madrid side for tonight's UEFA Champions League game. They always carry a couple of spare players, even if they can fill the bench tonight, if Carlo Ancelotti has some of his senior players back. Traffic might be a little easier to negotiate here than if it were in Milan or Rome or Naples or Turin on a winter evening. Just worked as a unit so much better today, Real Madrid, even before the changes started to happen. Here's Pereira. Martinez. Stefanoni. Moved out to the left since all the changes by Atalanta. Fasoli. It's another bite at it. Doesn't get past Begby, however. Infield by Simonetto. Better win back by Atalanta. One or two better moments down the right side. And nearly again. He's been really well protected today. Javi Navarro in goal by his centre-backs. Yet again, Rivas. All this without Valde today, who's looked very assured. Atalanta appealing, and apparently appealing in vain there. Navarro cleared it, and they claim caught the incoming Atalanta player, who has stayed down. It appears to be Nicolo Baldo. He's quite keen to finish this one with a hat-trick, I think. Jacobo Ortega, he wants everybody to keep going. Just a couple of minutes. Mafasole gets it. I guess the consolation of the day being left out is that he has ended the day with the captain's armband, but is in defeat. Stefanoni's looked a lot more comfortable since coming out to this left side. Bilac. Lofted up there by Zanki, but no blue or black shirt anywhere near it. Ortega to Montero. Hard to pick out individuals in such a high-level performance overall today from Real Madrid, but maybe an honourable mention to Aguado and Rivas as the centre-backs upon which this handsome victory has been built. Atalanta never threatening to give Real Madrid too many problems, quite honestly. Real Madrid in front thanks to the penalty by Aguado late in the first half, and a really stylish showing in the second period. Ortega with two. A day he'll remember, arriving at this level for the first time, and the fourth goal swept in by Jesus Fortea, and it all rather therefore bears a one-sided look, and that's the nature of this one today. Real Madrid have given Atalanta a little bit of a lesson. Atalanta 0, Real Madrid 4, the result.